I'm Doug. Welcome to Backcountry Pilgrim, a channel all about hiking, camping, backpacking, and the gear that goes with it. As you may know from previous videos, I am a big backpack guy. I've had a lot of them, but I realized I didn't have one for a loaner if someone needed one, and I decided, well, I'll just get something that isn't too expensive. But I decided it would be fun to do a little experiment and see what would happen if I let Amazon pick my next backpack. My procedure was pretty simple. I just typed in backpacking backpack to make sure I didn't end up with some Hello Kitty or Godzilla backpack. And then I just sorted by popularity and the size I wanted. Fortunately for me, the one that came up #1 highest rated backpack on Amazon was the Kelty Coyote 65. I didn't buy this with a lot of expectations. The idea for this video kind of started off as something of a joke, but I've got to tell you, I'm surprised to see that I think Amazon was right. This is a great backpack. So I'm going to run through the specs on this backpack, and then I'm going to give you a tour of it, and then give you some recommendations as to who I think this backpack would work for. Now, if you have done any research into backpack brands, I am sure you have heard of Kelty. They are one of the original American backpack manufacturers. They've been around since the early 1950s. And if you have a look at my History of Backpacks video, you will see them mentioned there. The Kelty Coyote 65 is, of course, a 65 liter. It's 30 by 18 by 12 inches. They also make an 85 and a 105 liter in men's and a 60 liter, which is basically this pack, only made more for women. This is a fairly tough pack made out of 420 denier nylon. It's got good solid YKK zippers and very nice, thick, comfortable padding throughout. Okay, so I know what many of you have been waiting for. You want to know, how much does this backpack weigh? Well, it weighs 4 pounds, 10 ounces. Now, I know in the ultralight world that is totally out of range, but considering that this is a 65 liter pack meant to be very comfortable and carry some pretty decent sized weights, that is well within reason. One of the main features of this pack is just how comfortable it is, and you've got to think, it's better to have a 45-pound load that you are carrying very comfortably than a 43 or 44-pound load that you are carrying uncomfortably. Alright, so now that you know the basic specs, let's take a tour of this Kelty Coyote 65. So to begin with, the pack does have a lid. This is a floating lid, so you can adjust this to get quite high off of the pack. And that allows you to put storage in here and raise the lid as high as you need to for that. Also, because of the way it is configured in the back, these straps can be fed back through the buckle and the lid can be removed completely. Now, because this is a drawstring pack, it is not going to be waterproof if you take the lid off. The lid itself is quite spacious, and one of the things Kelty did here is make a side access zipper. And the idea is that if you have the pack on, your hiking partner can get into the lid for you, since it won't be right behind your head. Inside this spacious lid is an organization pocket. This is a mesh pocket with a key clip so that you can put the most valuable things in there, and then you don't have to worry about them falling out when you're reaching into the lid. This unbuckles. There are no pockets on the inside of the lid. You have a compression/retention strap. This is quite long, but this is something that can be used to hold any gear that you are storing on top of the pack and under the lid. Then to enter into the main body, you just have this drawstring. So if you pull on the gray, it opens. You pull on the orange, it closes. All right, inside the bag, you have a Velcro strap to retain a hydration bladder. And you also have an elastic pocket in here for the bladder to go inside. There is one fairly small router right here that allows the tube to come out. And then, as you will see, the straps have these loops to route the hydration hose. That is it for the inside of the bag. There's nothing else going on in here. All right, moving forward down the front of the pack, there is a front pocket that has a side zipper access. This is pretty spacious, but there is not a lot of its own material, so whatever is packed into the main body is going to lift this up and make this a much thinner space. So this is good for like a light jacket, maps, that sort of thing, but you're not going to get a lot of storage in here like you would with some of the big mesh pocket backpacks. You'll also notice you have nylon webbing going down the side. This is a daisy chain style, so you can clip carabiners in here or run cordage through it to make your own kind of outside storage, but that does not come with the backpack. Moving down to the bottom, we have two fairly sizable loops here. I would call these ice axe loops. The Kelty video actually shows someone storing trekking poles on here and then attaching them through this upper diagonal compression strap. To me, these seem a little large for that. I think unless you had your baskets on, they could just slide right through there, but you could twist it up a bit if you needed to. All right, down at the bottom, you do have some bottom straps, but notice that these straps are not on the bottom of the pack. When these are released, the bottom of the pack is actually strap free. So what these do is give you storage along the bottom front of the pack and not the bottom where you'd actually be setting it down. You see there is a bottom zipper. This is not a bottom compartment though. Yes, you can put your sleeping bag down at the bottom if you like, but all this really is bottom pack access. There is no divider in here making this into a separate compartment. You've got a nice big partially mesh, partially nylon pocket, and above it you have these really cool wing pockets. These are quite large. You can get an entire cook system in here easily. These pockets kind of harken back to the early days of backpacking where a typical setup was to have two big pockets on the side of the pack. But what's interesting about the Kelty wing pockets is that there is a pass-through behind them. They're actually sewn only at the edges, so you can get tall objects put behind this pocket and then being held in place with the mesh pocket underneath. This allows you to put very tall items in here like trekking poles or a fishing pole or tent poles or pretty much anything else with pole in it. By passing these through, you actually get very good retention and you don't have to worry about using your compression straps to hold the gear down. This makes it a lot easier to get to the gear, especially if you have one of those zigzag kind of compression cords. They can be a real hassle when you're trying to store tall things on the side. Kelty has gotten rid of that problem with these pass-through wing pockets. Because these wing pockets come down so close to the top of the mesh pocket, I mean, they're basically touching each other. If you're going to store something like a water bottle in here, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with this pocket, and they kind of can get in each other's way. All right, coming around to the back, we've got a nice ventilated back panel with numerous holes in it, foam pad behind, and a nice foam piece right at your lower back. Both the hip belt and the straps are made of very high density squared off foam. Very, very comfortable. One of the things I love about this pack is that you do have an adjustable torso length. So these orange stripes indicate about where the pack is set, but this is a simple Velcro panel underneath that's actually has a plastic plate in it to add rigidity to the frame of the pack. But if you want to move it, you just tear it loose and slide it up and down to wherever it is most comfortable. The shoulder straps come with load lifters on the top, and the pack actually has another load lifter type strap in the back to help with sway. You've got the standard adjustments, a sternum strap, no whistle. This is quite adjustable. As you can see, the sternum strap just goes all the way up and down, almost the entire length of the shoulder straps. Unfortunately, no daisy chain webbing on the front. You do have a hard loop at the top of each strap, mostly for the hydration hose routing, but you could hang something off of these if you want to have some front shoulder strap storage. Now the belt I liked quite a bit. You'll notice that it pops right back into place. This stiff squishy foam kind of reminds me of like my Osprey Atmos 50, one of the most comfortable packs I've ever owned. Great hip belt. You've got a rear pull and kind of a Z-shaped strap. So with one pull, you're actually adjusting the top and bottom of the hip belt. On the right side, you've got a mesh stuff pocket. And then on the left, you have a fairly generous hip belt pocket. These are fairly decent sized. I was not able to get my large phone safely in either one of them, but they're pretty good for what they are. It's also got one of the beefiest carry handles I've ever seen on a backpack. And that is the Kelty Coyote 65. All right, so who would I recommend this pack for? Well, number one, if you're a fairly beginner backpacker and you don't have a lot of ultralight gear yet, this is going to be a very good pack for you because it's going to carry that extra bulk and that extra weight very comfortably. Further, it is a lot easier to organize your gear in this pack because of these giant oversized pockets. I actually really like these personally myself because when I'm out on the trail, there's a lot of things that I want to be able to get quickly, and I don't necessarily want everything in my main compartment where I'm going to have to dig through and pull stuff out just to get to it. Further, the adjustability on this pack makes it great for a loner. Even if you are completely dialed in with your backpacking kit and you are an expert hiker, having some backup gear to take a friend is a great idea. And because this is an adjustable torso length pack, it's going to fit a wide variety of those friends. Finally, I would say that if you're kind of walking the line between weekend hiker and bushcrafter, this pack might be better for you than some of the ultralight packs that are out there. It is tougher, it's bigger, it's going to carry your implements in a safer way, and you're going to remain comfortable even when you're carrying some of that heavier gear out into the backcountry. And the fact that you're getting all of that for $160, that just makes this a steal. There are day packs that cost more than this 65-liter pack, and you are not giving up anything in terms of quality with the Kelty brand. All right, I hope this video has been informative. If it has, like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. But also in the comments below, let me know some of your favorite gear that maybe doesn't fit into the ultralight thru hiker category. I'm always interested in innovative gear, things that work in a slightly different way than others do. I think the Kelty Coyote 65 fits that category. And if you are looking for a backpack at a decent price but with great features, the Coyote 65-liter might be just the thing. All right, till next time, I'm Doug. This is Backcountry Pilgrim. Thanks for watching.